you haven't ran out of money yet, you want it.
Are you guys ready to party?
Yeah!
Woo! Hi everybody, my name is Laila, Hameen. Of course you all know that, that's why you're here, right? Hi. I expected to have this really big like parade, like feathers and things coming, but I'm like, it's 2020, just walk out, Laila, just walk out.
Beyonce!
Alright, so I want to thank you all for coming out to Laila Hameen Live. I'm very excited to see each and every one of your beautiful faces, and whoever's watching on live, you're beautiful too, and thank you for viewing. I want to give a big shout out to Below Zero and Nigel for allowing me to utilize this space. So please have a round of applause for Nigel and Below Zero, please. Thank you. And I want you to give a round of applause for you because you are amazing and beautiful.
I am.
Alright, so basically, I wanted to gather people together because I know it's been kind of stressful times for some people. I wanted to socially distance but still be close and friendly with my friends and loved ones. So you all are here and that means so much to me. So tonight I'll be doing a couple of poems and some familiar monologues. As you know, I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, or you may not know. I'm from Dayton, Ohio originally, but I moved here to Cincinnati when I was 12. So I am a Cincinnatian technically, but I've lived in a couple of other places. But Cincinnati's the place where I have the most friends, oddly enough. So why not have a show here right before my birthday? So this is exciting. All right, so first off, I want to get you all a little warmed up. We're going to start off with a little game that I like to call Finish the Story. So I'll start it and I'll point to somebody, and if you want to, no pressure, you continue the story. So for example, I'll say, today I woke up and I decided to, then the next person finishes it, okay? And we'll go one round. Is that cool with everybody? Yeah? All right, cool. You kind of have no choice because that's what's on the agenda, okay? All right. I woke up and I decided
To listen to my Beyonce album.
And then go to the store to grab.
Oat milk.
And then met a friend for lunch.
Took a drive.
To the spa place where I had a massage.
fantastic. And there, I bought some really good massage oil to go along with my sanitizer. Yay! So that's just basically a game I do a lot with my students. I teach acting to elementary school students. I was previously doing high school, but I'm now at elementary school level. So that's one of our warm-up games to kind of get people, kind of warmed up and getting out of their box and whatnot. Because when I perform, I like people to be comfortable. I like them to feel free. That's just my personality. So my life is one big improvisation anyway. So why not start off with that game? Okay. So I have a poem I would like to share with you all. It is entitled A Trip to the Moon. I wrote this poem a couple of years ago. There's a place called Chase Public. Is anybody familiar with Chase Public? They're no longer, but they used to be in Northside. Well, Chase Public is pretty much like a free space hub where you can, they would host different kind of think tank events. So one theme was A Trip to the Moon. So they showed that movie from the early 1900s, A Trip to the Moon. And you were assigned to either perform a piece with it, either with music or writing, or somebody even built like a ladder. It was just like free expression. So for me, I chose A Trip to the Moon to mean something that, basically the moon is something that we all know exists. We see it. We've all seen it. We've seen pictures. But we can't quite touch it just yet. I haven't touched it. Has anybody touched the moon? Just touched it. Okay. I haven't. But you know it's there, right? So I sat down with my pen and I thought, okay, there are many things that I believe are possible, but I just can't get, okay, what is like the moon to me? What represents something similar to the moon? Something that's so close, but yet so far? And I just let my pen go. So, this poem is entitled, A Trip to the Moon. There are many things that I believe are possible, but I just can't get close enough to grab them. Forgiveness of parental neglect, envy of other siblings, releasing the feeling of not being pretty enough, skinny enough, American enough, black enough, Muslim enough, smart enough, intelligent enough, angry enough, loud enough, enough. And breathe. The gravity beyond the moon shall correct my asthma. My mother will gain the confidence to drive again. Another sister will leave an abusive relationship, and me, the courage to just keep writing. A trip to the moon, we can go to a place that's not like our own, simply appreciate it and not try to make it like our own. Letting shy kids remain shy, they're okay. Understanding those kids who can't quite get enough of the free hugs, delaying judgment on those who choose to take drugs. It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it, but it's just so far I just can't quite touch it. The fact that there's some people out there who think that I should cover my brain and cover my mouth and not be able to speak up for myself is crazy. They barely want me to drive in their country, barely want to keep me alive in their country, but here I am in my country speaking freely, but am I really? It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it, but it's just so far I just can't quite touch it. Maybe someday I'll show up to an audition and they'll have me do something cool like one of those yoga sun salutations. But instead, they may just look at my skin and request I put my neck into rotation. I'm more than that. So close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it. Can you see it? I can too, but it's just so far I just can't quite touch it. You know, maybe it's not my time to go to the moon just yet. Maybe my feet are planted right here on this earth for a reason. It's not my time to go to the moon just yet. It's so close that I can see it. It's really bright and I can see it. It's so close that I can see it. I can see it. But it's just so far, I just can't quite touch it. Yet. A trip to the moon. So that concludes that one. Thank you. All right, so the next poem that I have is entitled Outcast. There's a recording artist named K Savage. I know him as Kelby. He asked me to write a poem based on being an outcast. And I thought, that's pretty easy. That's like my nickname to go on to his song. And his song is called Make It. It's on YouTube. So I wrote a poem, and I decided, okay, this is from the heart, and this is for anybody who's an outcast. I present to you Outcast. Open casting or open hunting season. The only brown crayon in a box of chalk. At a dabble of Muslim, you got a 7-year-old diversity. By 23, I'm a highly melanated person on a higher education brochure to prove, yes, we are diverse. Outcast. Turn on the news, more auditions for Outcast. A role of an observer when it seems like the world is on fire. You turn on the news, there's more auditions for Outcast. Selling loose cigarettes could cost you your life. Wearing a hijab on a train could cost you your life. Not having a front license plate could cost you your life. Casting breakdown. Looking for nothing but an outcast. Alright, how many people have seen my one-woman show Laid Off? Anybody seen that? Oh, cool. Okay, nice. Alright, so I wrote that show actually when I turned 30 years old. So it's going on almost 5 years since I've written that. It is a monologue-based play that I decided to kind of rebel against my family and write anyway. It was one of those scenarios where the family was like, oh, Laila, you're really funny. Oh, you're a good actor. You can do all this stuff. Yeah, talk about your life, Laila, but don't talk about domestic violence because nobody wants to hear about that. And that shut me down momentarily. Then I decided to be a rebel and talk about domestic violence, along with a lot of really other beautiful things in my life. Because it's something that I feel like needed to be discussed. Now within Laid Off, it's not a complete sob fest. There are some pretty emotional parts. And it was necessary for me to peel back those layers to really get to know who I am, so that people can really know who I am as well. This monologue is entitled Parking Lots. And this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever written in my life. But it was necessary to do it. After I got laid off from my full-time job at iHeartRadio in 2016, I was driving a 2003 Honda with a broken trunk, and it was busted up so badly that I used duct tape to like tape it down, and then the duct tape would bust, and then it would like hydraulics in the back. It was a mess. It was a really messy nightmare. But I took my car to the Honda dealership to get it checked out, and then I realized that I forgot my journal, which was my best friend. So I decided to take a whole bunch of the napkins out of the break room and start writing this idea for a one-woman show that I knew I had to do for myself. And so I thought about that 03 Honda, and then I thought about the 07 Corolla that I had previously. That was a gift from my father. But that car got totaled in a car accident. So with the insurance money, I ended up with the less pretty Honda, but it was mine. It was in my name. So without further ado, I would like to share parking lots. I will tell you that there are mentions of domestic violence. Just for a content warning, I don't want anyone to get triggered or anything like that. But just a heads up and a fair warning. Parking lots. You know, I feel very, very proud that you don't really know a lot about me. Well, you never ask, and I never tell you. Dad, you remember that time, well, the last time that we saw each other? I do. You wanted to gather all of your children together for some type of solidarity dinner. But you were so consumed with a random distant cousin that you barely said 3 words to me. Well, I wanted to tell you that I'm about to graduate with a Master of Arts in Communications. And no, I don't have a plan afterwards. I directed a documentary on Muslim women who wear the hijab, even though I don't plan to. And I got a lead part in this Christian movie called Grandma's Hands, straight to DVD. But you wouldn't have heard me. But thank you very much for the car, Dad. It is beautiful. But honestly, I feel like we've earned that a long time ago. Okay, you remember that time that me, you, and Mom went to Kings Island when I was about 7? Man, we had so much fun that day. And Mom took me to go get on some kiddie ride, and you told us to meet you at a certain location at a certain time when we were done. When we got off the ride, you weren't there. And so my mom said, well, Laila, it looks like your father's not here. You know what? He's probably in the parking lot, waiting for us. Let's go. And so we went. And we walked. And we walked. And we walked for what felt like hours in that parking lot. Man, Mom, he must have hit that car really good because I don't see it anywhere. Mom! Mom! Finally, Mom snapped out of it. But she looked down at me. Laila? The car's not here. Your father left. But don't worry, we're gonna get a ride home back to Dayton. Your Uncle Chet, my brother, will take us. We just gotta go use the payphone, okay? Come on, Laila, let's go. And I turned and looked at her and I said, Ma, my daddy didn't leave us. He could just be looking for us. He's probably still in the van, in the parking lot, all the way back there. See? Well, maybe, Mom, we just can't give up. keep looking. My daddy didn't leave me. But he did. And it started to rain as we walked back into the amusement park to wait for our ride. And I remember sitting on this bench and I kept seeing all these Star Trek actors walking around with these wrinkled foreheads. And God, they are so scary. Why are they here? Mommy, why are we still here? We are stuck in an amusement park and it's not as fun as I hoped it would be. I just want to go home. We got a ride home the next day back to Dayton. And I remember I was so mad at you. The first thing that I did was I went in my room and I grabbed a picture of me and you that we took at Kings Island months earlier. And I stood in the doorway of the bathroom where you were shaving. And you stopped and looked at me. And I held that picture up in my 7-year-old hands. And I ripped it up. And I walked away. You see, Daddy, I was so mad. But I had no words. So you know, you can paint over belt marks that are left in walls. You can cover up holes in doors with calendars. I never got any bruises, but I clearly have to heal from something. And so thank you for protecting us against the bad guys, the bullies, the mean teachers, the potential predators. The only person you didn't protect us against was you. But I forgive. Because Mom forgives. And you know, people say I look so much like you. And it's supposed to be a compliment, but it's not. Oh, you're so pretty. You look just like him. I don't want your face. If I could take it off and put someone else's on, I would. If I could take the cells that you put into my body out of me, I would. But I would lose the good that is within you. I'd be half a person. I am half Paula Elizabeth Hameen. And I'm half Basim Ali Hameen. You put those two together, you got Laila. So thank you very much for the card. That is beautiful. I cannot wait to hold the keys up and show Mom. I'll say, Mom, guess what? I found the car. It only took 16, 17 years, but I found it. We found it. Oh, and I am driving all the time. The only problem is, there's still this 7-year-old little girl who's still walking around a parking lot, looking for a car that doesn't even exist. It's not even there. You got a map for her? Okay, so that was entitled Parking Lots. And that is one of the hardest things I've ever written and one of the hardest things I probably ever will perform as an adult. So yeah, it was actually based off of a true story. When I was 7 years old, my family took a nice trip to Kings Island. We were late getting off of the ride for some reason, and my dad left us and didn't really have a real reason why he left. He just got tired of waiting. And so that was just one of the earliest memories I have of actually getting my heart broken. So that was actually probably one of my first heartbreaks, actually. But actually performing it and writing it and sharing it with people has been a very mighty healing journey. And it's pretty much helped me get to where I am now, to the fact that I'm still here on this earth, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, so I'm kind of going out of order of the play. If you've ever seen the play, it goes from childhood up to adulthood. I'm just picking out certain monologues that I feel are pretty poignant to my week, my month, and my day. So the next monologue is entitled Science Fiction. Now this one is pretty much what this little girl is probably talking about. I don't know if you guys can see. This is little me. So I was 3 on this picture, but this is maybe I'm about 7 years old. My voice, that's how I'm writing it. So with science fiction, it was something that I wrote to go along with the play, to basically show how my childhood was, what I had to deal with as far as living in Dayton, Ohio in the early 90s, as a Muslim kid, as a brown Muslim kid, as a liberal brown Muslim kid. It was a whole lot going on there in my family. So in science fiction, I portray myself at 7 years old on the brink of one of many moves throughout my life. No, I'm not getting anything for Christmas. We don't celebrate. Easter? Hanukkah? No. Kwanzaa? Okay, we are black, but we don't have any candles in our house. Though we could celebrate it. Any other questions? Well, I got a story. You guys want to hear it? So here's what happened. I decided I was going to walk down to the bus stop by myself. My mom was asleep and she had no idea. Well, see, lately my dad's been going loco. And one minute we're watching Morton Mindy with Robin Williams on Nick at Night, and we're nannying around the house. And the next minute he's flipping out over something. Well, just the other day, I was at the dinner table and I said something. And he said, "Laila, stop talking like that. You sound like a white girl. Stop talking like that." Stop talking like what? Well, maybe I shouldn't say anything at all. He gets mad at me because he sends me to school with you and gets mad that I come home sounding like you. You know, I'm the only brown kid in the whole school. The one who has to use the brown crayon, like what Miss Kuzak says. But what if I want to be purple or periwinkle? Anyway, back to the story. I decided I was going to walk down to the bus stop by myself. So I went down to the basement and into the garage, and I pushed the button, and the garage door went up, and it growled at me like a monster. And I felt this cool breeze hit my face. It almost knocked me over. Wait a minute. If I go out the garage door, how am I going to shut it if I'm outside? I'll just go out the front door. Wait a minute. There is something really exciting about rolling under a garage door when it's about to shut. So I did it. I dropped, and I rolled, and I rolled, and I rolled, and the garage door made that slam down behind me like boom. I looked behind me, and I looked in front of me, and there I was. Outside. I was free. I couldn't move. My book bag strap got stuck under the garage door. And I left my lunchbox too. So I had no choice but to pull my book bag from under the garage and go back to the door and ring the doorbell. My dad answered the door.
Laila, what are you doing outside?
I was looking at the rocks and flowers and things. He didn't believe me. So he put on his dashiki and he walked me down to the bus stop anyway. us with you guys. True story. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's some science fiction stuff going on in our house. Well, just yesterday, my mom and dad were arguing. And I guess their phone got mad too. So it flew out of their room, through my door, and landed in my room. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I didn't know that phones could fly. But you don't have phones flying through your house, do you? Well, then I guess it's just my house. It's like science fiction. Well, see, there's this big hole in the door. It's almost like another galaxy's in there. But my mom covered it up with this Mickey Mouse calendar that I got for my birthday. But the hole is still there. Well, I guess the hole always will be there, unless we get another door, you know, when we move. Oh, yeah, I'm moving again. Well, I know, I just moved back 2 weeks ago, but oops, time to go again. This time we're moving to a place called Maryland. My sister said the city is Bowie, but it's spelled like Bowie, like David Bowie, but it's pronounced Bowie. But before I move, I have a confession to make. Remember I told you my middle name was Elizabeth? It's not. It's Basima. No, not basement. Basima. It means smile in Arabic. Well, you didn't laugh. Well, that's cool. Well, I only told you guys my middle name was Elizabeth, so I thought you'd make fun of me. But you're not. Well, since we're on the topic of Arabic, Laila means of the night in Arabic, and Hameen, well, that means friend. And Basima, that means smile. So all of you are really good Hameens, and you make me Basima, even when it's not the Laila outside. But I just hope you remember me. This is going to be another move. 3rd grade, 3rd city, 3rd school. I guess 3 is my lucky number. Oh. I really don't want to move, guys. But I'll have to give you my new address again, and you can write me at the new address again. I can't wait to see what Maryland's going to be like. It's East Coast, so I'm not supposed to say pop anymore. Just soda. I think that's all the rules I know by now. I just hope you remember me. And if you really want to remember me, you pull out the brown crayon. And if you really, really, really want to remember me too, you pull out the purple one too. I just hope you remember me. Let's go see what this new city is like. Thank you all so much. This is exciting because normally when I was first creating this show, I was doing all this stuff by myself, and for people to actually like clap, it's like, oh, there's people, yay! I was a very imaginative little kid. I was the youngest of 3 daughters, and they were teenagers when I was a little kid. They're 7 and 8 years older than I am. They're 17 months apart, so they were teenagers. I was a kid. So I had a lot of time by myself in a way to kind of create characters and voices and all that stuff. So it just feels really good to have people clapping while you do this. This is fun. This is really good. And let's see here. The next monologue I have is entitled Miss Kennedy. Now, how many of you all had a really good teacher that's ever changed your life? Raise your hand. Are you the teacher that's changing somebody's life? Are you?
Yeah.
You're a teacher, aren't you?
No.
You're not?
Yes.
You are a teacher. You're changing someone's life. Even if you're in a classroom or not, you're still changing somebody's life. If you ever showed anybody how to do anything, or if you've ever like politely corrected somebody, or even like helped somebody lift their chin up a little bit for the day, you're still a teacher that can change someone's life, like no matter what, right? So Miss Kennedy was actually the teacher that changed my life. When I was in the 6th grade, it was right before we were about to move again, oddly enough. I decided to do something daring, which was audition for a play. As a sixth grader, I didn't really say much. As a kid, I didn't really say much. You would look at me now and think like, wow, you probably were speaking to people your whole life. But honestly, I had a really bad public speaking phobia, and I hated talking in front of people. And it wasn't until I decided to audition for a play that actually opened up something within me to say, hey, you actually have a voice and it's important. So with Miss Kennedy, she's actually one of my favorite characters to portray in the play. She is a very bright dresser, I guess you could say.
Miss Kennedy has kind of the lip thing going on. She's got the thin lip and the little struts, you know. So she's one of those energetic teachers who actually will talk to you and not at you. All right? So basically, back in 1996, Miss Kennedy stepped into Laila Hameen's sixth grade classroom, and she made a very good announcement that changed Laila's life for the better. All right, class. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, so we're going to have a musical. It is going to be called Reading, Writing, and Rocking. Right? Okay. We have many parts. It's going to be one of the best things of the spring. Okay? So, we're going to have auditions next week, and the rehearsals are going to be after school, and there's going to be some during class, so you're going to have to miss class.
Now, sixth grade Laila didn't really like school. So the moment I heard, I'm going to miss class, I was like, I'm there, sign me up, please, get me out of class, please, please, please. I turned to my best friend, Mandy, and I said, Mandy, hey, let's go be actors so we can miss class, like sometimes. You want to do it? I watch TV, acting's not that hard, I guess. Let's just do it. And then Miss Kennedy looked at me and said,
Hameen, what are you chatting about, sweetie? What are we talking about?
I said, well, Miss Kennedy, me and Mandy want to audition for this rockin' play. It's like reading, writing, rockin', right? Is it like rock music, or like, are we gonna do like Metallica and stuff, or like what are we gonna be doing?
Oh, Hameen, that's so cute. Honey, you don't even talk. You're gonna really audition for the play? I mean, I guess if you want to, I don't want to discourage you. But auditions will be on this paper, so I'm gonna let you know the date and time and make sure you can get a ride home, okay, sweetie? All right.
I said, I don't even talk. She's right. I don't talk. I don't talk. I don't talk. But I talk to my sisters and I crack them up all the time. I make my cats talk. I talk to myself sometimes. My mom's freaked out by it, but I can talk to people. Yes, I can. I can act. I want to be an actor. And I want to miss class. Really, really badly. Not gonna lie. So me and Mandy showed up to the audition. And see, Mandy, who I still talk to this day, she had long red hair. So she walked in looking like, Julia Roberts, And I'm black, so I was your favorite black actress. Pick your favorites. That was me. Let's just say I was like a little Halle Berry, because Halle Berry's from Ohio. Halle Berry has like some father issues, and so do I. So in that case, I was the little Halle Berry, and Mandy was like little Julia Roberts. So we walked into the audition, and Miss Kennedy said, oh,
Hameen, you showed up. All right. She's here. All right. Well, Hameen, what are you here to audition for? And Mandy, okay, you're auditioning together?
I said, yeah, Mandy, we're going to for the parts of Marty and Chris. Now, I know those are like boy names, but like, we still want to read for those, because Chris has a solo, and I really want a solo, and Mandy wants to be Marty. Mandy, okay. Mandy was really quiet about the whole thing, so I was the mouth of the whole operation. But we got up there, and we did our parts, and our first reading of the scripts, we were kind of robotic, like picture like Chuck E. Cheese, how they're all like, we were reading kind of like that, like, hello, Marty. Yes, Chris. I can't believe I forgot that book. And Miss Kennedy's like, hey. And something snapped into me. I'm like, wait, that's not like how they do it on TV. That's not like how they do it on TV. Let's just do it again. Let's just go. And we killed it. We did a second time, and we killed it. Me and Mandy both killed it. and we both got the parts. It was the best day ever. We were going to be actors. And so we got pulled out of class because we were like the special acting kids. And the kids would say,
Laila doesn't even talk. Why is she going?
and I would say, no, I don't talk, but I do act. Leave me alone. I have to go. And I had a solo, and I would drive my family crazy with singing the solo, which I'm not going to sing tonight because I don't remember the words. However, Miss Kennedy would always look at me when I'd get on stage, and she'd go,
All right, Hameen, come on up. All right, now see how you're walking here. You're walking kind of weird. Don't do that. Just walk. Walk with presence, Hameen. Just walk. They see you. You see them, and you walk.
and so I practice, they see me, I see them, and I walk, you know.
And Miss Kennedy was very, very impressed. So impressed that after the 6th grade musical, she wrote me a note in my program. And she said, Dear Laila, fantastic. Excellent work. I can tell you really worked hard, and it showed in your performance. Oh my goodness. Just wherever you are next year, please continue in your chorus, in your drama. You could do a lot of really great things. Sincerely, Sue Kennedy.
I didn't listen very well in school, but I did listen to her a lot. She told me I could do a lot of really, really great things if I continued with my acting and my drama. And sometimes my life has a lot of drama and a lot of acting in it too. But even as an 11-year-old 6th grader,
The fact that Miss Kennedy would strut her little stuff over here and look me in the eye and say, Hameen, you go out there and do a good job.
I continued with my acting and my drama. And then I wanted to become one of those teachers that helped other kids too. You see, when I got laid off in 2016, I had a choice between working as a teacher's aide or a bill collector. Bill collector, I would be calling myself, and that would not be fun. I owed too much money to my student loan company, and I'd be probably calling my friends too. Didn't want to do that. So I decided to be a teacher's aide for Cincinnati Public Schools for a year. I was a teacher's aide to 8 really rambunctious little boys in the multiple disability unit. They ranged from ages 6 to 8, and they were all undiagnosed, so they all were just lumped together in one beautiful buffet of classroom activities. And oftentimes I was left by myself. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm not working at the radio station anymore. I have to go in here and be a teacher's aide, and I guess I can like maybe channel some of Miss Kennedy, but this might scare them a little bit, so maybe not do all this. But I could inspire them. But the moment I would tell people, hey, I'm gonna go be a teacher's aide at Cincinnati Public Schools, the first thing people would say is, oh, just don't let them see you smile. What? Do you know who you're talking to? Like, you can't even say my last name without smiling. Hameen. You know, like, I smile. Like, well, why wouldn't I smile at a kid? That's weird. That's really weird. Well, you gotta let them know who's boss. Use that voice, you know, like you boss them around. That's... No. The moment I stepped into the classroom, I saw these adorable little faces. The first thing I did was beam up and smile. Oh, man, it's so pure. They're kids. And there was one that looked like T.I. He was about T.I.'s height, too. He was like that big. And he looked up at me and he was like, you're so beautiful. And I was like, you're beautiful too. Oh my God, you look like a little T.I.P. Kick laugh for the VIP. And I caught myself being goofy in front of him like immediately. And I was like, oh crap, they're not going to respect me now. And he started laughing. He didn't know what I was talking about. But he's like,
TIP, kick it, laugh. What?
I'm like, nothing. Don't repeat it. You're adorable and you're amazing. You're so smart. Within the first 5 minutes, I'm sure the teacher was like, lady, you're trying too hard. But that just was my reaction. I was nervous, and this little kid looks at me and like, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, so are you. You know? One of the most memorable moments of working as a teacher's aide, when I got to kind of get to know their backgrounds. A lot of them were hungry often. A lot of them were coming to close with coming to school with clothes that smelled like urine. And it was normal for them. They didn't think anything of it because they were just like, hey, this is a shirt, I'm putting this on, getting on the bus and going. But after a while, you start to understand, like, okay, this child dressed himself. You have to protect him because kids are going to make fun of him because they don't understand. He like dressed himself because he had to dress his sister because mom is like not able to dress him for some reason. So like, I instantly became like Miss Kennedy, like Miss Kennedy wanting to just protect and uplift. And so I caught myself just being really, really, really nice at times. I'm still trying to balance out the firmness. But Munchkin number 8, who was 5 years old, really tested me. He was 5 years old, learned to walk at 3 years old. Mental capacity, they said, at about 2 years old, but could curse like a sailor.
Miss Hameen!
Yes, sweetie.
I gotta take a shit. Like a big shit, bitch.
Honey, what did you just call me?
I said bitch.
No. Honey, come here. Hey, Munchkin, what's up? Okay, so, you do not call me or anyone else that word, okay? Ever.
I can't call you bitch.
No, you cannot. I'm not mad at you. I'm really upset that you know that so fluently, but just say, I gotta go poop, or I gotta go drop some pudding off, or like anything, but just don't say that word right now and don't use that word to me, because that hurts. Let's break it down even more. He doesn't understand it. Okay. That hurts my feelings. It makes me cry.
Miss Hameen, you gonna cry? I don't call you be no more. Don't cry. You gonna cry? Don't cry, bitch.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Now, you understand my feelings when you say that word.
Miss Hameen, you gonna come to the bathroom?
So, as part of my duty, his accommodation, besides calling me a bitch, was to actually, he needed help in the bathroom. So I would help wipe him. And so I would have to ask him, is this a 2-glove day or a 1-glove day? And he'd be like, 2-glove day? And I'm like, okay, time to go to work. Yeah, 2-glove day. He was dropping puddings left and right. So I trusted the other munchkins because oftentimes I was by myself. I would say, guys, I trust you and you trust me, right? I have to take him to the restroom. I cannot let him walk by himself because you know how he is, but I trust you all. I will be back in like 5 minutes. I can see you in the back of my head. There's eyeballs that were given to me from my mother, and she like put them in my head. I can see you, so like, don't do anything bad, which I know you're not gonna do. We good? We good. Okay, cool. So we just trot over to the bathroom. Me and little Munchkin, he'd sit on the toilet, then he'd fall in the toilet, then I have to like lift him up and rescue him from drowning in the toilet. And then he would look at me and just let it out. And I'm like, okay, just do what you gotta do. Just sit down. I will wait for you out here and just do what you gotta do, and I'll come in and do the scooping of the pudding, just anything. So I'd just be sitting there and staring at myself in the mirror, and I'm thinking, gosh, my hair is horrible. My God, I am so hungry. When did I last eat? Oh my gosh, stop looking at yourself. You're freaking yourself out. And then I would hear his little voice over the bathroom.
Miss Hameen, there's a whole lot of pudding in here. Miss Hameen, you sleep?
No, I'm not asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm just thinking about life. What do you need, sweetie?
Miss Hameen, I got a question. You got a husband?
No, I don't.
You got a boyfriend?
Maybe someday. No.
Miss Hameen, you got a girlfriend, don't you?
No, I don't. No, don't have a girlfriend.
Dang, Miss Hameen, what you got? Then you ain't got nobody.
Hey, you're right, kid. I mean, yeah, I don't have anybody. anybody, right? Let's see. Let's play a game of what Miss Hameen has. Miss Hameen has a half-eaten granola bar that she didn't have time to take during lunch, because guess what? She don't get no lunch, right? Miss Hameen has an empty gas tank. Miss Hameen doesn't get paid for like another week, so yeah, she's pretty broke. Miss Hameen has a really bad attention span, like she can't focus that well, but she's working on it. Miss Hameen has got these hands that work and do things. Miss Hameen has friends, really beautiful friends. Miss Hameen has a mommy and a daddy that love her very much. And even though her daddy loves weird, he still does love her. Miss Hameen has a wild imagination that's sprinkled with a little bit of science fiction. And who knows, maybe Miss Hameen might have a boyfriend someday. Spoiler alert, she does. He's back there. Yeah, there. Yeah, back there. Anyway, Miss Hameen actually has a lot of things. And most importantly, Miss Hameen has munchkin number 6, 8, 12, whatever. How many there are of you all? I have all of you guys until the end of May, and you have me to the end of May, and that is wonderful. Miss Hameen has a lot of things. But you want to hear a story, kid? Well, once upon a time, there once was a little girl with eyes the size of acorns, and shoes the size of canoes, and hands the size of catcher's mitts. Well, one day that little girl was walking around a parking lot at Kings Island, and she was mentally by herself. Though she was with her mommy, she was mentally drifting. She was walking around that parking lot with all of these heavy rocks in her hands. So heavy, she couldn't even sit up straight. Then she developed a really bad hunch on her neck from slouching so much. But in a moment, not soon after she looked up, there was a big van that zoomed by. And it was a purple van. And it said, the Children's Theater of Cincinnati. Well, she couldn't read all the words right away, but she dropped the rocks because she saw the van was her favorite color. And so she waved to the van and thought, man, I wonder what's in there. Why are they driving past Kings Island? Can they stop and pick us up? Mom, that's a van baby for us. What's going on? I don't think she realized that in that van there was a woman driving by that Kings Island sign. She saw that little girl waving to her. And she waved back at her. Well, that woman was in that van to be a touring actor for the Children's Theater of Cincinnati for 6 months, to be an ugly duckling, and Cranky Pants the cat,
And Freddy the fish.
to entertain a bunch of other little kids who got to miss school for an hour to watch her perform. She waved at that little girl. And that little girl was her. That little girl's me. My name is Laila Hameen, and thank you so much for experiencing with me today. But before I go, I have this little dinky rap that I do at the end of all my laid off shows. But in order for me to do it, I need a really decent beat. So I need a good a cappella beat. So somebody start a beat, and I'll try to like bust out the best flow ever. All right, let's see. Let's sum up who this lady girl is. Okay. Well, I am a black chick with an Arabic name, and yeah, at the little goofy, I ain't got no shame. People telling me all the time that I'm so lame, just this really cute chick with that hair you can't tame. It ain't about the fame, it's all just a game, but I ain't going nowhere, cause for real, I just came, laid off. Get your run at the gutter, put me next to the dude, all I do is just stutter. Allow me to reintroduce myself, my name is Laila, Miss Hameen's daughter. People tell me that I look just like my father. I'm thinking, man, dude, why does he even bother? Because he ain't been in my life since I was this taller. But I guess it's never too late. But honestly, it's really hard for me to date. Maybe we can be father and daughter again. I mean, maybe all I gotta do is pick up a pen. So, definitely need a pencil. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm gonna write a script, I'm gonna dedicate my time, I'm gonna make a lot of people feel happy and goofy, I'm gonna write a show called Laid Off, and I'm gonna be okay. We're all gonna be okay. Thank you very much for experiencing with me. My name is Laila Hameen. Because honestly, like, I love birthdays. I love other people's birthdays too, because I'm like, you're alive, you were born. It's a simple concept, but it's really complex, but it's like, I'm so happy that you were born. I'm happy that you're here. Because sometimes we feel like we don't want to be here, and I know that feeling. But we're here. We're here, and we're amazing. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Anything, or comments, concerns, or like anything to express?
Just I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Well, make sure you guys buy some drinks from the bar. You can buy me a Snapple. I'll be your best friend if you buy me a Snapple. I'm actually kind of or any type of soft drink. But yeah, I really appreciate you all coming out. This was really fun. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I also have Halo Arts, which is a performing arts experience that encourages individuals to use acting and storytelling as a form of self-healing above adversity. So it's basically to encourage individuals to use either storytelling, acting, or whatever art form you wish to heal above your living obstacle. I personally use acting for that. A lot of people use music, you name it. So I'm on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm going to be using a lot of my Halo Arts ideas to help with the elementary school kids that I'll be working with actually this coming Monday, which is interesting. I can't wait to meet them. But yeah, so follow me on Instagram and on Facebook as well, but there'll be some more productions coming out soon and just some, fun, quirky ideas. The main purpose is just to help people understand that they're not alone. If you're going through any type of mental challenge or any type of hardship or whatnot, I'm just another goofy, friendly face that you can just pop up and see and be like, oh, she's goofy, and laugh at her for a few minutes. It's my duty. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Like a drag queen.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting tipped like a drag queen. I wish I was that beautiful right now. Wow.